Will you be receiving the extra $400 of unemployment that was signed by executive order by President Trump on August 8th? Well, only 11 states have actually applied yet. I've got updates coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Corhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Okay, so the extra $400 was signed into law as executive order on August 8th. That's a couple weeks ago now. It's supposed to be added to your unemployment to replace the extra $600 that ran out at the end of July from the CARES Act. What do we know so far? And are you, wherever you're living, whichever state you live in, should you expect to be receiving this extra $400? Well, let me recap. So the extra amount of unemployment is for individuals that are unemployed, and you're supposed to be receiving $400 extra to your state unemployment. $300 of that is supposed to come from the federal government, and states have to elect to chip in the additional $100. That's how the federal's $300 plus the state's $100 gets you to $400 total. Well, as of right now, 11 states have actually applied and been approved for the federal $300, and there are several more that have applied and are waiting. Here are the states that have applied and are waiting. We've got Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, California, Delaware, Indiana, where I'm at, Kentucky, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, and West Virginia. What about the states that have already been approved? We've got Arizona, Iowa, Louisiana, New Mexico, Colorado, Missouri, Utah, Maryland, Montana, Idaho, and Oklahoma. Here's what they have to do in order to, even though it's executive order and with the stroke of a pen signed into being, the states actually have to apply for this funding going through FEMA, through emergency aid, right? So they actually have to apply and then wait on an approval. And then we'll talk in a moment about, well, when will these funds actually be released? Apparently, every state that has applied, not a single one has been rejected yet. So that's good news. And on average, it's taken a couple days for these states to actually get their approval in. But of these, they're applying through FEMA to get the extra $300 that they can add to the unemployment. It's then up to the states to choose whether they're going to put an additional $100 on top of that. Of all of those states that I've mentioned, and this is as of just a couple hours ago, it could change by the time you watch this, of all the states that I've listed, only one, Montana, has chosen to add the extra $100 on top of it. There's rumors about others. I actually heard just right here in my own state, Indiana, that from some sources, Indiana said they're going to do the extra 100. And then I hear, no, they're not. So lots of rumors out there. As of right now, the information that I have, Montana is the only one that is adding the extra $100 on top of it. These payments are supposed to last for through, into December. However, the funds that have been made available on previous payout rates, some projections say once this thing starts happening, they're going to run out of funding within just a month, maybe 2 months. So it might not even last all the way until December. And then finally, on top of all of this, even if these states, the states that have approved, the states that have applied, even those that have that are further along or that far along in the process, are those residents, are you, if you live in one of those states, are you receiving this extra benefit, this extra $300? From what I can see, essentially no one is. They all have either been approved or they're waiting, but they're still waiting on receiving the dollars and dispersing them to the actual citizens that are unemployed. Oklahoma has actually said, we're still waiting on the funds. You should be seeing them added to your unemployment soon. We will make them retroactive to August 1st. So folks that live in Oklahoma, if you're approved, should be able to get a lump sum payment that goes retroactive all the way to the beginning of August 1st. Other states, and apparently this was a caveat within the executive order, other states have said you're not eligible for this extra $300 unless your state's unemployment is over $100 per week. If you're only eligible for less than $100 per week, then you don't even get this enhanced benefit from the federal government. So those are your updates right now. If you're listening to this saying, what in the world is this guy talking about? What are all these details and these updates? This doesn't make any sense. You're right. That's not the point, but it's sort of the point. I wanted to give you an update as to where you stand depending on whatever state you're in. But the point of all of this is an absolute mess. This is a mess. And for those of you that are struggling and have been unemployed for the past month, not receiving the additional $600, unfortunately, it could be a long time before you receive any benefit above and beyond your normal unemployment. I have actually heard some individuals that are currently unemployed and have said, well, instead of going out and pursuing another job or a different job, I'm going to stay and collect unemployment with the hopes of being able to receive this extra amount. I can't quite make my finances work on just my state's unemployment, but I'm going to hold off getting that job or going out into the workforce because I want to see when I can get this extra federal aid. Guys, we don't know when that is coming, and I still think there's a whole bunch of drama surrounding this thing. If you're still unemployed, and I know many of you are, 20 million, do what you can to make the tough decisions in your financial life to try to make this time work, and two, do everything you can to get out there and find that next job opportunity, because just waiting on these federal funds, you could be waiting too long. You could be waiting a long time. Lots of confusion about this. Again, I know people are hurting, and if this program helps even just one person, then it was worth it. Yet at the same time, I struggled with this executive order because the unilateral decision makings, if Congress can't pull it off, but then also the confusion that this has created. The confusion, could you imagine where my office is? We're just maybe a mile from Michigan. Can you imagine the laws in Indiana being one thing, the laws in Michigan being something else? And depending on which side of the state line you live on, could be a difference of $300-400 a week in extra benefit. Just this confusion and chaos, I think, does not provide the clarity that people need during this great time of uncertainty. So check online, check with your own state's unemployment office to see where things stand, but also work with your certified financial planner, because I wouldn't expect many people are going to be receiving this extra benefit anytime soon. Contact your CFP, see what decisions you need to be making. If you don't have a CFP, you can always contact a member of our team at Korhorn Financial Group. Find us online, wisemoneyshow.com or korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. You can also send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.